Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Yard Office. I'm your host, Adam Helwig, as always. Joining me today on the horn, we have my good friend, band, myth, legend, SP enthusiast, Jacob Petkovsky. How we doing today?
We're doing.
That's very true. That's very true.
That's the answer I always give. Just we're rolling, we're moving,
Absolutely.
chugging, we're going along.
Great big rolling railroad.
Great big. No, not quite.
Um,
Not quite.
Before we get into anything, I just want to say thank you to everybody who watched the last episode. I did not think it would get that many views that quickly, and all the support that we got from a lot of people seemed to enjoy the first episode. So we're going to keep rolling with this, but I just want to say thank you for everybody who keeps supporting us. And if you want to see more, feel free to hit that like and that subscribe button.
I'll say it's very easy to do. You just click.
Oh yeah, it's just a simple click. It doesn't involve that much. It doesn't involve that much.
See those buttons right down there? You hit them, and we're all good.
We actually got a lot to talk about today. We're gonna be talking a little about some tourist railroads, some museums, a lot of heritage-filled stuff today. We got a lot to talk about. It's a lot of places that we've both been to, and a couple of places that we want to go to. And yeah, overall, I think this should be a pretty good episode. Jake, what do you think?
I think we'll have a good time.
I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
We'll have a good time. We'll have a good time.
Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So let's just hop right into this.
We're always hopping into it.
Yes, we're gonna start.
We're gonna hop into it. We're gonna hop. I don't want to hit my legs. No, I didn't stretch.
So I think we're gonna start off with more like tourist railroad type things, and I think the first one that I want to talk about personally, because this is the one that I've been to most recently, and you've also been to, but a little bit before me, is Strasburg Railroad.
Oh yes.
I went there very recently for when 6/11 was there for about a month or so during October. It's a very, very beautiful place out there. I gotta say, it's very, very nice, and the type of locomotives that they have there are very interesting as well. And Jake, I know you're a big fan of Strasburg 90. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm a big fan, but it's definitely my favorite out of the three,
Yes.
more or less. Baldwin standard deck, 210. It's their largest engine.
Yes, it is.
And it's pretty. And then for the photo event they recently brought back, NW 475.
Yes,
M
475.
class. Honestly, after that event, I didn't go to it, but it's been growing a little bit more because it's just really neat because there's not a lot of M classes out there. I mean, the same goes for the Baldwin standard decapods like 90, because I know Age of Steam Roundhouse has one.
Oh,
I forget
really?
the number, and it's a little different. I forget the exact number, but I know they have one, as far as I'm aware. Yes, they do have one, and I forget its number. Hang on, I'm gonna look this up now.
Yeah, feel free to look that up. But yeah, I mean, Strasburg, for how small it is, which if you guys know, it's about a 4-mile section of track, and it's just one single track with one passing siding. I mean, it's a pretty cool place, I would say, overall. I mean, and it's very interesting because they have 3 different steam locomotives, which I'm pretty sure all 3 of them, or if not 2 of them, are operating, which is Strasburg 90 and Norfolk Western 475. Well,
all 3 of them are not 30 because you got 89.
Well, yeah, 89 is the one I was thinking of. I just wasn't sure if that was an operation or not.
It just wasn't operating on the event because they already had 90 and 475 going.
And that's a Canadian National build, isn't it?
Yes, it is a Canadian National.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But those are all 3 of those really come from very different backgrounds. So to see them all really in the same place is pretty interesting, I would say.
Are we have an interesting count in the top right corner? You said interesting a lot in there. You said interesting a lot.
Interesting is one of my favorite words, in case you guys didn't figure that out.
That's pretty interesting.
But yeah, I mean, when I was there for the 2 days, I was there for the weekend of Columbus Day weekend for 6/11. I mean, it's small, but they have a lot going on there, and there's a lot of good places to get photographs. I didn't post a lot of them on my Instagram, but there's a bunch that I could post if I really wanted to, because I went to about 5 or 6 spots, I think. I didn't
figured it out.
Oh, you did?
Yes, it is AT&N Alabama Tennessee Northern number 401.
Interesting.
That is a 210. It's similar. I don't think it's
exact same build, but it's.
I think 401. It's Baldwin standard, but I think it just has a slightly different, just components to it for more road specific stuff.
Well, yeah, because I mean, they made
still
475 more road specific for the reunion. I mean, they gave it a nose
It already
headlight.
was road specific because only other roads like SP and Amonon had mastodons, but the M class was was built by Roanoke because that's for the NW.
Yeah.
Which I am still low key upset that I decided not to go to that event because I really thought it was gonna be a crapshoot. I thought it was gonna be like crowded and just because I mean, first of all, it's like I said, it's a 4 mile short,
Yeah,
so it's like
it's very,
there's
very short.
already with like three public crossings with
Yes.
various amounts of private ones with very much degree whether you can go on them not because they're private. So it's like I feel like it'd be really cramped.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I
and
really
there
didn't
was
want
a
to do that.
there was a fair police presence, at least at the one crossing by the Caboose Motel.
Yeah.
There was about 2 or 3 police officers when I was there, making sure everybody was staying safe and not getting on the tracks and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I honestly I thought it would be worse than it was, but actually, from what you said, what people said, it really wasn't that bad, and I low
Yeah, I
key
mean,
regret it.
it was crowded, but the crowds were mostly with people riding the trains. There wasn't a whole lot of rail fans there like me going there just to take photos. But I mean, there was a good amount. But I mean, there was a lot of friendly people that I met, a lot of people that I talked to. Everybody was friendly, like, hey, am I in your shot? Am I good? Which is very hard to find, I think, in this community nowadays. But I mean, I had a blast when I was there.
Oh,
Yeah,
blast!
yeah, blast, and that's the
Oh,
only way to really
blast!
describe it. But I mean,
Oh, woohoo!
it's very
A blast for
interesting to
that whistle.
see a locomotive of that size on a short line that's that small. But
What I think was funny though because those engines alone before 6 Lincoln, like 90 for example, already look kind of big. You
oh
get
yeah,
the biggest engine on the roster, a big 210, but then you see her next to 611, and she just gets dwarfed
oh
by
yeah,
611. Which, mind you, I have seen 611, which we will get to later. It's
yes,
not under Steam,
yes. So that
but
was the difference.
she did look much. She was much bigger in person than I thought she would.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Because I mean, it's not. I mean, it's still a northern. Like northerns are big, but like
Yeah, Northerns are known to
she
be
looked
big in
like she had a
size.
lower profile than other northerns. But then when you actually stand next to the thing, it's like, oh,
Well,
oh,
I also feel like the difference there is that I feel like 90 has smaller diameter drive wheels.
no, she does. No, that's
Yeah,
exactly what it
which
is.
I feel like
Why?
if
But it looks
does
big.
yeah, it does. It is 90 is a lot bigger than I thought it would than I actually originally thought when I went to Strasbourg. But I mean, yeah, it's
I think what helps is that too, because you have that gap between the frame and the boiler when because it's high
yeah,
up on that.
which I did
And
notice.
yes, I kind of like that though. It kind of
Oh yeah,
I would say
yeah,
character.
oh yeah.
I wouldn't say character. It's got that distinctive look because let me speak English here. 'Cause it kind of like rides higher.
Yeah.
And it's really cool when you see like those shots of it at like sundown or something, and you kind of
Hmm.
see like a silhouette of it, but you can still see the sun piercing through the center of the engine and
Yeah.
such. But
Um,
oh,
yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, I wish I was able to go there for longer amount of time, and I didn't know this, that you actually had to pay to blow the whistle on 611, and it was only $5, and I have been kicking myself so much since I went there, because
see,
had I
I
known
knew
that
that.
ahead of time, I would have done that, and because that's
I knew
just,
that because I was following that whole event. Because whenever something like that comes up, I always like to follow it to see where it goes, what else they're gonna do. Because a lot of me and my friends are big Steam guys,
yes.
so we'll follow that pretty extensively and see what happens. I know my buddy Jimmy
Hmm.
bought bought cab experience or throttle time, I should say, on 475 because 475 is like his favorite existing steam locomotive ever. So,
Oh yeah, yeah, 'cause, I mean, he's a big fan of the Norfolk and Western, I
oh, I'm a
believe.
big, huge fan of the NW.
Yeah.
But
Um, yeah, I mean,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, overall, I would give it a solid 9 out of 10. I would say.
nine.
Well, the
Well, you
one.
know why? You didn't ride it.
This is true. I didn't ride the train when I was there, which is fine because I was more focused on getting pictures of 611. Because for me, I had been wanting to see 611 since I was like really, really young. I remember always seeing the photographs of it and wishing I could see it. So for me, like actually going there and seeing it was a huge, huge thing for me. So that's why I wasn't really super concerned about riding it. So there's that, and also I really wish Strasbourg was a longer line than 4 miles.
Well, the thing is, yeah, 4 miles doesn't sound like a lot, but you also got to remember they're going like 15, 20
Yeah,
miles an hour.
yeah,
So it's like it's like an hour ride all the way out to Paradise and back. So, because like when I went back in July, we rode behind 90, but we got the ride in the, well, it's not an observation car, but it's like the first car. Oh, it was an observation car. The first car connected to the engine when they pull out
Yeah.
East
Oh, yeah,
Stroudsburg
I know which
Bridge
one.
toward
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Paradise. So we just stand there and basically we're face to face, which 90 was pulling the train that day. So we're basically face to face with 90 that first half of the ride, and then got
Mm-hmm.
to, see all the nice Amish countryside and stuff
Oh, yeah.
on the way back.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, they were running 90 to Paradise, and they were doing 611, I believe, to like maybe the halfway point, maybe a little
Yeah,
bit
it was
less.
like a.
So, I
So
mean,
I was
there was enough
told.
time between them for 611 to pull in and 90 to pull in, too. So, but I mean, it's a longer ride than you think, and like you said, because of the speed limit that they have.
Yeah, and I think what I was told how that worked is because they weren't originally gonna do that, but I guess they said do little shuttle trains with 611 with 3 cars, which is basically from what I've told is like how the Day Out with Thomas but Day Out with Thomas events work, where he puts
Yes.
Thomas on, he takes 3 cars about halfway down the line and brings them back.
I'm that event by itself also intrigues me because the Thomas that they have is steam powered, not like the one that goes around that's like a dummy unit type thing. Which I got to give Strasbourg credit for that because that is
I
something that,
do, but at
yeah.
the same time, I don't like it because underneath all that blueness that is questionable was originally in was it Brooklyn East District Terminal, I
Yes.
believe?
Yes, it was.
Be-
I,
Which,
I watched a whole video on YouTube about the history of it.
and those are like pretty tank engines, and there's really not many, or I don't think any at all,
There might be one or two
left.
left, I think, but if they are, they're not in good condition.
If any is the only operating whatever, that's like, how many engines? You could have just done that too. You just
Well, I mean, you have to use a 060 as a base. So I mean, how
Oh, but
many?
we really have to make it actually powered. We can just not make it an oversized box car because you just ruined a good steam engine.
Well,
That's just me being stupid foamer steam engine guy.
yeah. I mean,
Three.
I like it because they I think are the only ones who can really make that claim. At least in the U.S. I'm sure the U.K. has their own type of thing for that, or other countries do. But I mean, at least in the U.S., I think Strasbourg is the only railroad that can have that claim where there's a steam powered. At least I think.
Yeah, well,
Feel
I
free to
think
correct me if
they
I'm wrong
built.
about that, but I think so.
No, it is. Is the only act. Well, I think. No, I think it is the only one that's self-propelled. I think
Yeah.
all the other ones are just overly decorated box cars essentially.
Yeah.
No, but
Um,
that I guess I think they build them all too. If I'm not mistaken.
who does?
Strasbourg.
They build them?
I think. I don't remember. No,
Hmm.
I want to
It would
say
make
they
sense, I
do.
think, because I don't really know who else really would. I mean, Strasbourg does a lot for other railroads when it comes to steam stuff, so that wouldn't surprise me to be honest.
No, yeah, because they got like a certain wheel diameter lathe. It's a wheel lathe. I know they have a driver lathe. I forget exactly what diameter it is. And
Hmm.
there's a really well known steam shop.
Oh
That's where
yeah.
a lot of people just send their stuff to get it fixed because they know what they're doing.
Oh
They're
yeah.
like, I mean, they're the oldest surviving active railroad in the country.
Yeah,
Yes,
since
older than Union Pacific.
1832.
Older than Union Pacific.
Yes.
Yes, can
Yes.
confirm that.
Yes.
For anyone says that, no, Strasburg is technically oldest, and they're still technically a railroad. They do have revenue freight service. They
Yeah,
are still
they
an
do
active
have revenue
railroad.
interchange with the Norfolk Southern. I saw a couple lines of freight cars when
Yeah, it's
I
a
was
little
there.
freight yard.
Yeah.
And they
Well,
mainly just do ethanol stuff and wood and
yeah,
stuff.
well, while we're on the topic of Strasbourg, let's hop across the street and talk about the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania. Because if you
Well,
guys don't
I don't
know,
want to talk about just. I want to talk about just kind of everything in there because like what are the appeals to Strasburg too.
oh, well,
So,
what else do you have in mind?
well, because yes, the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania is there right across the street. I also want to talk about right down the street is also the Caboose Motel.
Oh, I didn't even
I
think about that. Yeah,
I do want to stay in there eventually just once as a bucket list item.
I do
hear
too.
I hear
'Cause
mixed opinions about it.
I also have as well. I mean, it's
I heard it
con-
used to be bad, but I think
Y-
a new
th-
owners.
Yes, that's what I've heard. I heard it was bad, then it got better. But I mean, I didn't realize how big of a collection they had and how many different roads they had until I actually went there. Because I mean, they have one for I'm pretty sure every single railroad, if not they're very close to it.
I don't think they have one for every year, but a lot
Well,
of the big
all the
names.
big names. I think they have all the big name
I
ones.
like the Lionel Lions one person
Yes, I do remember seeing that one when I
because
was
that
there.
one's like right next to the, which also, transitioning here also to the next to the Toy Train Collectors Association Museum.
Yes, which is also a cool place. I highly recommend it if you guys are ever in the area of
It's
Strasbourg.
it's not a very big it's not a very big museum,
It's
but it's a
not
nice
big,
little
but
museum.
they have a lot there.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of their, it's like TCA's headquarters essentially. And they have a lot of meetings there. Lionel go there and stuff and
Oh yeah,
show off products and etc.
yeah. I mean, they got a lot of cool stuff there. I mean,
A
it's
lot.
highly
The first
recommend
ring I
it.
rented, it's all like prototype models and like mock-ups when they were designing things. Like there's like a wooden mock-up of how a ZW Transformer would work.
Oh yeah,
726 like casting shell, like original cast. Whole process and how they make like the old tinplate engine shells with the old Commodore Vanderbilt.
mm-hmm.
As you point out when you're helping me set my Christmas layout last
Yep,
night.
yep. I remember seeing that how they did the whole um, is it press metal? Is that the right term?
Ah, it's
Or
t-
stamping, metal stamping, press stamp
it's
metal.
I think it's just heavy tin because they call it tin plate. I think it's just heavy tin.
Well, I'm talking about the process.
I think it's just stamp metal. Yeah,
Stamp metal is it something? I don't know.
I think so.
I'm no metal expert,
Miller
so
just
yeah, I'm no expert when it comes to doing that stuff. But
I don't think I am either. But if you're really into the model whole, and not just line also, I mean, they have cool little layout. Well, not little, but they have pretty big layout displays. Like they have HO1, S gauge, O gauge ones, obviously,
yeah,
standard gauge, G
yes,
gauge,
I think that they have one for every gauge, if not close. They also have a very impressive Lego little
the
oval thing
Lego
set up.
layout. Yes,
Yeah, which is it's very impressive. And they
I
have a
liked
look.
actually some of the small stuff. They had a couple of really cool custom built like old Ford pickups and stuff like that on it.
Oh yeah.
But
Um,
it's a fun. He's nice. And then
it's a cool place to go to if you guys are into the modeling, which I feel like
what
there's a few people in this community who aren't more into the modeling thing, but they're more into the rail fanning thing, which
I'm
nothing wrong with
sure.
that. But I mean, if you are a heavy model enthusiast, this is a place that you want to go. Trust me.
I was about to say I don't think I've really met any train person that's really in the models, but then like we know two of them who
Yeah,
are.
two.
They are not really in the models. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
there's
there are people like that exist, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you're
there's
not
everything
into,
wrong with that. Everything, absolutely. What are you doing? Why are you even here? Where should you? Where should you come listen to our podcast right now? What do you think this is?
why are you here?
Why are we here?
Why are we here?
I don't know.
Well, is there anything else in the area that you want to talk about?
Yes, one more thing before we move on to the
Yes.
big one. Choo Choo Bar.
Yes.
Did you go to that when you were there?
I didn't. I went to the model train place next door to it in that little
Train store.
complex.
Yes. See, I went to it the first time when I went like I want to say 10 plus years ago, 15, I want to say.
Yeah.
And no, I had some of my Lionel DVDs, and that was really one of the things that if we had time, I really wanted to see when I was there back in July, because I haven't seen it forever. Fortunately, did not get to it, because it was just basically the rest of the day after Strasbourg.
Mm-hmm.
In the TC, in the Rare Museum at Pennsylvania. But it's a really cool O gauge layout. It really is.
Oh, I'm
It's
sure.
really neat.
I'm sure.
It's a really neat thing.
If I ever get the chance to go back there, which hopefully is sometime soon, it is something that I do want to do.
Yeah, like I know when we went the first time, we actually had like an old Weaver box car for the Choo Choo Barn. It's like yellow, has their logo on it. It's Choo Choo Barn. Kind of a neat thing. And I also got a Strasbourg box car from there too. So
It's pretty cool. It's all the places that we've just discussed. Highly recommend it. Go check them out. They're really really cool.
I'm pretty sure people's heard of them. I mean,
Oh,
it'd be
most
hard
likely, most
hard
likely.
pressed not to heard of Strasbourg.
Also, while we're on the topic of places around there, check out the antique malls that are around the area of Strasbourg, because the one that I went to when I was there, and I actually bought these here, actually have a Seaboard system shot glass, and I have also a Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy shot glasses that I bought for like $10 a piece when I was there, and they literally had a
It's a little
whole
pricey for a shot glass, but
I mean they're vintage.
they're cool. Yeah, I mean, they're cool because they're old.
But I mean, they had a whole sectioned off area that was probably like 6 by 6, and it was just full. I mean, I'm talking packed to the brim of just vintage railroad stuff, like
See,
iron.
that's my
Yeah,
game right there. I would
they had like
and I
la-
really wish I had time for that too.
they had like lanterns, like old cast iron signs, like stuff you'd find like from like passenger trains, all types of stuff. They had a Santa Fe toolkit or a first aid kit, one of them, because I remember I sent you a picture of it.
Yes, that was probably pricey though.
Yes. Oh yeah, I think it was like $130 something. But I mean,
Yeah.
they have some. If you guys are into that type of thing, go check out some of the antique malls around that area because they're really really cool. It's really
Yeah, I
really
mean,
cool.
I'm a sucker for vintage railroad, just railroadinia and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
like
I mean
that.
that's why I bought these because I just thought they're neat. It's something you don't really see, especially the Seaboard one. Like I
No,
haven't seen
I really like them.
anything really
I
like
like them
this.
more
Let me
than the
show you.
CB&Q one.
Yeah,
To be
I've never
honest,
seen really anything like that. So.
and I haven't either. So I mean, that is cool.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now do we move on to Big N?
Yeah.
Big
Let's
N,
let's talk about the Rare Museum of Pennsylvania.
Railroad Museum, Pennsylvania. No, it is not the Pennsylvania Railroad Museum. It's the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania.
Yes. Is that not
So
what I just said?
the actual title. No, I know. I'm just saying.
Oh, you're clarifying for other people. Got it. Got it. Got
The
it.
the full title is the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Not the Pennsylvania Railroad Museum, because it's not just solely the Pennsylvania Railroad.
No.
The house that standard built, as I call it.
Yeah, but I mean, like that was. I went there the second day I was in Strasbourg, and I mean, they have a lot of very interesting equipment at that.
Yeah,
At
I
least
swear,
inside.
if you don't put an interesting counter in this video, I'm gonna be disappointed. You're gonna be looking for that in the editing
I
process.
like the word interesting, but
That's very interesting, you know. Drinking game. Take a shot every time Adam says interesting. It's a very interesting game.
but I mean, they have a lot of cool pieces of equipment both inside and outside the complex. I know inside they have a GG1 in very very good shape. It's not like the one in Altoona, which is kind of in rough shape. I mean, this one
But
is.
then again, who doesn't have a GG1?
This is also true. Well, that was my second time seeing a GG1, and that was my first time seeing one that good of in good of
I
condition.
know the Harrisburg station has a really nice one on display on the
Really?
platforms in one of the tracks with the N5C caboose.
Oh, really? Wait,
Yes.
there's one in Syracuse that's painted in Amtrak too.
At the
The state,
fairgrounds.
yeah, the state fairgrounds, yeah, yeah. That's a place I do want to go to, but I mean, that was
Well, if we go to Utica, well,
yeah,
you'll see it from the train,
Yeah.
sort of, because it's blocked by the other equipment, but you can see it at where it is because one of the pantographs is up.
yeah. But yeah, that's my first time seeing a really good GG1 in that condition. They had the Conrail Jeep 30, which I thought was cool because you can actually go inside that and stuff.
See, we never did because I think it was just crowded with people, so we just kind of skipped
Oh,
it.
it was. We went there like as soon as it opened, so there was nobody there. So we took as much time as we wanted to when we were there.
The one thing we took away when we went back again in July, because again, that was the first time I've been to. I'll get to talking about that trip because I'll refer to that a lot in this episode. Was that again? That was the first time I've seen it in like 15 years. And before, because remember how all the engines have metal like handrails and fences in front of them?
Yes.
That's a new addition. Those weren't there, like I think last year. That's
Okay.
because they became like a associate of the Smithsonian. They're not officially part of it, like an associate of it.
Okay.
So I guess they like pretty much need new safety regulations, like better treads over treads. I think before it was just like wood over the rails that you walk over, and there was nothing in front of the engines. I get it's a museum, that's what it was before, but it
Yeah.
kind of ruined photo opportunities, I guess you could say. But it's a little unfortunate. But
Which
sometimes, like,
it's-
I'm not gonna.
It's kind of
freak
hard to
out
take
about it 'cause
photos.
still-
It's hard to take photos in that building because of how it's laid out. Because I mean, everything's kind of hooked together, so it's like you kind of gotta.
It's not meant for photos. It's meant to
It's
say,
not-
hey, look what's
yeah.
on display, and just you take
But I mean,
single point.
there are some
shots.
cool photo opportunities at that place. But yeah, they have a GG1, the Conrail Jeep 30. They have a PRR E7.
Don't forget the Jeep 7 right behind. I know it's a Jeep 9, I think, right behind the Jeep.
yes,
You
sir.
can also go
Yes.
inside. But
Yeah.
you know they have the doors open so you see the motor and the prime movers.
Yeah, and they had that on the Conrail Jeep 30 when I was there too. They had all the doors open, which I thought was really really cool. They have a bunch of they have another they have a couple of electric engines there.
Well, they have that. I think it's an E33 other one.
Yes, it was something. It's that box looking one.
Well, there's the little box thing. I forget the name of that one too.
Well, Well,
It's April, man, you know.
we're getting too much into this point, but they also have a good collection of PRR steam. I know they have a K4 and an M1.
So one of the two surviving K4s, only surviving M1, A5040,
Yeah.
B6060, L128282, H10 280. I don't remember what the H series is. I want
Well,
to say it's H10.
there's two steam engines like in the back unhooked from their tenders. I think because I think they may have been going into
It
cosmetic
probably
restoration.
was. I think one was because when I was there, the one in the back was the two that are off to one in the back, and one was off to the side. The B6 was off to the side, and the one in the back towards one of the restoration shop was 520, which is the L1.
I
Which is
think those were both of the same ones that were back there when I was there because the ones that were out in front were the K4 and the M1.
yes, and then there's the two. I think I want to say it's H. I can't remember. It's an H, and it's a later H series. I think it's like an H9 or 10. 8, 9, or 10.
Can you find their roster online?
Well, hang on. I could. Well, the problem is you really can't go because PR had a really wonky numbering system.
No, well, no, I'm talking about the museums.
Probably.
I think if you want to look it up, because I think they have their whole roster online on their website.
Will look. We're a museum of PA.
Yeah, but
Collection.
it's a good collection. There. I mean, in the PRR steam, I will say it's pretty cool.
They also got a G5. Can't forget the G5, which is next to the E7. That's a 460. That's very similar to what Long Island Railroad 39 is, or I think it's the same. No, it's the same class. I'm sorry, it's the same class, which is also in Strasbourg, being rebuilt by Strasbourg. Locomotives, diesel, electric, steam. Oh, 460. That's what I want to talk about. The E6, the 442 that was in the back, the President, the Lindbergh engine.
Mm-hmm.
One that was really recently. That they did a really good job of that. I'm really excited to see.
Was that towards like the front when you walk in?
No, that was towards the back corner. You walk in, you go all the way down to the right. It was the really fresh one near the big garage door.
Oh, yep. Okay, yeah, I know which one you're talking
That
about now.
one.
Yeah. Because I think there's a 442, I think, near the front.
Yes. Yes. You're thinking of 7002, I
I
believe.
want to say they have two of them because one of them has a different trailing axle, or it's got a different design on the back.
That 7002 is a E2 and E3. It's one of the two because they mentioned it's an E2. It's an E2 class, so it's the same series. It's just an earlier build of it. What is the? Oh God, killing me now. 94 is the A5. That's obvious. 460 is the E6. Man, that's not all of them. That's not even okay. They don't even have all their steam roster on here. Why? 1223. That was the 440. That was one facing 7002.
Okay.
Because those both used to run at Strasbourg before the other ones came in.
Oh, really?
Those were the two active steam engines at the Strasbourg Railroad before 90 and all them showed up. And then once they did get 90 and all that, they're like, okay, we're gonna put these in here now. Why? Because they're the last of their kind, and we do this kind of stuff. And it's like, oh, okay. And then also mention the fact too, a lot of those engines outside, like the bigger ones, because they're building that new roundhouse. They're going to, at least, because they have the funds. Funds are there. I guess I think the process now is just getting all the building permits and stuff,
right,
to commence construction. So that'll be nice.
Oh yeah. Well, let's keep the conversation going here. Let's talk
one more
about
thing.
Yes.
One more thing before we move on. I want to add one more thing. With all the because the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania is known for having all like the last surviving Pennsylvania Railroad steam that there is out there. I think of one that's not in there.
What's that?
You know what it is. You've seen it.
Oh,
the
PRR I-1.
Yeah.
Which the only surviving one is in Hamburg, New York. Which, if you guys saw my None at the Railroad Museum video, I did a whole piece on it. It's the last surviving PRR I-1 decapod.
As my friend Jimmy said, there are more large Pennsylvania Railroad steam locomotives in the state of New York than there are large New York Central steam locomotives in the state of New York.
Yes. Well, that's because
I think the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania, I know years, every now and then they'll go back at the WNYHRS and try to make a deal for them, and they don't. Because the thing is, there's always a debate about the PR to take better care of it, but it's like they really wouldn't because A, they'd still be both outside. B, that roundhouse is designed for 5 stalls, not 6.
Yeah.
And with her being here, it kind of makes her the top priority. So
Yeah, and I believe the Historical Society around here is in the process of building a preservation center. So all that stuff will be
kinda
inside eventually, I think. 'Cause I know every
eventually
train
is
show
a
that I go
strong
to, they
word.
always have like a stand up showing like the layouts, like, hey, we're gonna do this, and this is what it's gonna look like, and this is all the stuff it's gonna have.
Eventually.
Yeah, let's. I mean, I would like to see that I-1 be at least cosmetically restored.
It
Um,
was.
yeah, it was for a time,
It was. This
for
happens
a
to have a
short time.
cover it over it.
Well, let's just let's keep the conversation going here because I don't wanna run out of time. But
Yes. This is the Go
yeah,
Visit Strasbourg unpaid advertisement
yeah.
episode slash
Strasbourg,
whatever
you want to
comes next.
sponsor me? You know where to find me. Let's this is the
Strasbourg
one
is not going to sponsor you.
I can try.
Sorry, I'm,
I
I'm
can
gonna
try.
crush those right there.
Let's talk about the cast scenic because there.
Oh boy. Well, oh, okay. We'll talk about Castinic.
Yeah,
We'll go
let's.
back to the other ones. Let's talk about
Yeah,
because we're on the topic of tourist lines here.
yes, because yeah, we're gonna go from tourist runs mostly, and then to like the more museum stuff. But you have a really funny story about you at the cast scenic that I
We'll
think.
get to that. I just want to talk
Well,
about the Castinic
well,
first.
yeah,
We'll
well,
get
yeah. I mean, you've been there. I haven't. So why don't you talk a little bit about this one?
Well, I want your input about Cass. Like, why do you want to go to Cass?
I re- the Shea design of steam locomotives has intrigued me since I've, you
Oh, we
know,
have an intrigue counter too. Post, post, post editing Adam, if you're listening, put a counter in.
if somebody wants to make like well, go in the comments section and say how many times I use the word interesting in this video or intrigued.
No, you're gonna do
Honestly,
it yourself. Put a counter in.
maybe, but um, they've always amazed me as to how they work because I find it so intricate and so interesting.
There's a lot of big I words. There's a lot of big I words.
Oh Lord. Yeah, but it's just the shade design is a neat concept, and it's something that I would go and. That's why I want to go to the Castinic.
People see hate him. Click here to find out why.
But yeah, let's talk about your experience at the Castinic because you were there a year ago.
No, I was there this summer.
This summer. Oh wow. Okay.
Why?
Oh okay. Yes, you were there like.
Remember, it's all the same trip.
Why? I forgot when that happened. To be honest, I couldn't remember if it was a year ago or like 6 months ago or something.
I was just talking about it with Strasbourg.
I know. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Be on top of these things.
Okay. Well, let's. Yeah. Why don't you give
Okay.
your little input
Okay.
on
No,
Castinic?
I'm in the same boat. I always thought the Shea was a very interesting design. I was never crazy about it, but I did like it. It was there. After going to Cass, I have gained a much more stronger appreciation for the Shea type of just logging railroads in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's something else. Because it's almost heaven. West Virginia. You got the Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. That's not there. I'm gonna stop before we get
John
copyright
Rivers is
strike.
rolling around in his grave right now.
I don't want to be copyright strike because we probably could. No, but it's really cool because you go up like these. It's like going through Allegheny. You've been to Allegheny, right?
No, I haven't.
Here goes my analogy.
Well, are you talking state park or just in general?
This is Allegheny State Park. If you've
No.
been to Allegheny. Here goes my analogy again. Basically, well, I'm gonna say it anyway. Basically, it's like imagine like hiking. You're going through Allegheny State Park, except you're on a train. So that's the best way I can describe it.
I'm sure people
Anyone
listening to this
here.
might have an idea as to
Because
what you're talking about.
except a little more intense, a lot higher mountains. It's really cool. You're going up like 6%, almost 10% grades at times,
Mm-hmm.
up these huge mountain passes, a shade blasting in your ear. You're just chugging up the grade, going up various switchbacks, watching the engine work and seeing all that. It was really cool. And then break in the trees and you see the wide mountain range of the West Virginia. It's really something else. It's a really breathtaking view. Because we did the Ball Dom trip, which goes all the way to the top, which is about 11 miles.
Mm-hmm.
And up there is just nuts. The view up there is just unreal.
Oh yeah, I mean,
And just the vast, it's, again, the vast mountain of all the trees and just even when you're not even seeing those, when you're just under all the tree cover, it's really cool because like you're just on this train going through the middle of a forest. You know, it feels like a natural tunnel almost.
oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we rode behind Shea number 2 that day, but we did pass by the engine shop, and I did see a couple of them lined up. Some of them were fired up.
That's
So,
cool. Oh well, we gotta tell the story. I feel like you need to tell.
This is where I have to actually tell the story now.
You need to tell the story. I think people need to hear
Okay.
the story.
I am a rock because when we were going up Malden, up the hill, where we sat was right next to the engine. It's like that's where we like to sit. Like to sit right next to the engine. We like to sit. It's loud, very loud, especially when your engine's working up maybe a 7% grade. Very loud. I'm sitting in the chair. You know, along. A little tired. It was a long drive, like 3 hours. We got up early, drove there 3 hours to get to like the 11 o'clock train. Because that's where we stayed at Jimmy's house, and that's where he lived, about 3 hours away. And I was up the whole trip helping Abel navigate. Looking for the word there. It's late. I did not get much sleep last night. Anyway, so I was sitting down on the train. I started to doze off. And I closed my eyes. You know, again, engine's still working really hard. Open my eyes back up. It's like, man, I can't fall asleep, man. I'm trying to enjoy this ride. I paid good money to ride this train. Which I don't remember how much, but I think it was like $30 to $60.
Oh wow.
Which is worth it for a round trip. It's a really cool ride. I highly recommend that. I wake up. And see my friend's like, oh, how much I missed. It's like, you're awake. I'm like, yeah, I'm awake. He goes, you were asleep. I'm like, not for long. He goes, you were asleep for like the past mile. I'm like, oh, okay. And my friends got video of me sleeping out like a rock next to this 90-ton Shay, chugging along, working as hard as it can. 4 cars up in friggin' 6%, and I was just asleep, not even 5 feet from the front of the boiler. Which, this isn't the first instance that something like that has happened, because last year at Night at the Rare Museum, I was asleep on the platform in a lawn chair, and like 2 or 3 freight trains roared by me, blasting their horns, didn't even budge.
Oh yeah, and I mean, those trains going past the museum at Northeast are
Loud.
they're going track speed. They're not going slow.
Hey man, if you're tired, you're tired. I was tired.
This is true. This is true.
I think it's like someone said, like, you know, it's that rhythmic beat that helps you fall asleep. It's like, it's still loud though.
Yeah.
So, and especially when the whistle blows, it's loud.
Um,
Covered in coal dust.
Well, let's talk about another one here. I think that you have a little bit more information on the Steam Into History place that has a 440 American type.
It was built like 5 years ago, I think.
Yeah, they built it from the rails up, didn't they?
Up. They built it from original like Rogers Locomotive Works. It's based off a mixture of Jupiter 119. That's what the original designs are based off of.
Yeah, but it's got
York
that classic
17.
design.
York 17. That's also a nice little railroad, because the very like it's a really, because that's where 1361 rode.
Oh, really?
Before she went down. Yeah, I mean, PRK4 1361 rode, like, you know, traveled there. That's where primarily happened. They also got like a Pennsylvania Railroad Jeep, which is neat when they do their diesel runs, because they're like a whole, and their cars are built out of like flat cars, and they look 1800s just to go with the engine, which, mind you, is oil fired.
Yes.
It's cheaper. I mean, in that area, so, I mean, probably Pennsylvania oil you got going in that area. Yeah. So it's got a faux wood load. I mean, it's real wood, but like it's just there to make it look like it's actually probably wood. So it doesn't produce a lot of smoke.
Which kind of sucks, but kind of doesn't. I
Not
mean,
really, because not a lot of engines, even back then, they didn't produce a terrible amount of smoke either.
yeah, this is true.
It's mostly coal fire where you really get that big plume.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like something with like 611 or like 611. I'm trying to think. I don't know what else is really coal fired. Maybe 765. Is that is
Yes.
765?
261's coal fired.
Yeah, those. I mean, everything else I think is oil burning at this point. At least
Well,
from
a
the
lot of
bigger
small
roads.
railroads. I mean, Strasbourg, all of them use coal.
Yes, but
Uh,
like the UP Steam
main
program,
line?
4449.
Yeah, for some main line, I mean,
A lot of stuff is oil burning at this point. Which I mean, 4449 was built that way, but
4014 was coal.
yes. Well, so was A44.
That is true. I forgot. Those were also built. I forgot about that.
Yeah, they got converted when the Steam program began, but I mean, it's not
I thought she had
uncommon.
oil. I thought she had oil in service.
No, at least I don't think so.
Okay, I'm gonna double check that. I don't know much about UPC.
Yeah, I believe it was converted to oil burning.
But the Challenger was built for oil, right?
I don't think so. I don't think any of them were.
No, I think some of them were. I'll have to look that up now.
Some of them might have, but I don't think all of them.
I'll have to look that up. I know they're. All right, I'll have to look that up. I don't remember. I don't know much about UP Steam. Mainline Steam, yeah, like. Well, 1225, also coal.
Oh yes.
Like
The-
some Milwaukee Road 261 is also coal. You know,
Yeah.
Iowa Interstate 6988, QJ, coal.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Those are coal. Well, yeah, I got mainline. In terms of mainline steam, that's about it.
Yeah, I mean the only one that I can think of that is like smaller, at least in size, is Baldwin 26 at Steamtown. That's coal fired.
Oh yeah, a lot of the shorter lines have coal.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
again, I'm just having primarily
Yeah, if we're talking primarily class one
Yes.
main
Anyway.
line.
back to where we were about steam and history. That's really cool because it's a very Civil War era oriented railroad, and what's really cool, it's kind of like cast to where it rolls off forest, so it's like a natural tunnel thing. But gravel parallels basically the entire road. It's really cool. So like we go to a crossing, walk down the bike path to get some of those really cool. I can send you them later if you want.
Yeah.
You can kind of see what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
got a really cool one. It was coming around this rocky kind of cliff, railroad cut at the path. That was really cool. And there's really about all these buildings. It's just really, it's really neat little road. It's definitely taken worth looking at and riding on. Because like I said, they're both. And then when they pull the engine back in and out of their shop, basically the entire shop is the wall from the outside is just a big glass window, so you can see the engine from the outside.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, it's a nice little operation you got going on there. It really is. I know
Yeah.
they do some winter runs, and it looks pretty good in the winter too. I mean, you'll obviously get more accumulation from the stack because of the colder temperatures and the higher moisture coming out of that thing. So
Yeah. Well,
that definitely provides some good photo opportunities, you could say.
oh yeah. Well, we're running a lot later with time than I thought we would be at this point. So I'm gonna kind of shift gears a little bit to more of places that you've been to, but I haven't. So it's more places that I want to go to, that I want to hear your input on. First one I start off with is
Wait,
the
hang on. What were we saying? Hang on. Wait. Places that I've been to, you haven't, but you want to go to. What? Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
places that you've been to that I haven't, that I want to go to.
Okay. I'm tired.
So I think we're gonna start with Baltimore and Ohio Museum, because they have a bunch of interesting stuff there. I know they have a.
There it is again.
Is it a H8? The Allegheny?
Yes, Alleghenies are H8s.
Yes.
Yes, they do. 1604.
Which
that
is
used to be
the-
a BMT.
Which is the main reason that I want to go there, because that's like, I've always been a big fan of articulate steam, and especially the Alleghenies have always interested me.
If you want to see a nice one, you gotta go to Henry Ford.
Yes, because
got
they have the
that's
one.
better lighting, and that's got the C&O logo on the front.
Yeah, it's
Pilot plate.
1604.
One is Henry Ford. 4 is B&O.
Okay, so okay.
I've seen both in the past 2 years. I mean, I've seen 1604 again way back when because I used to have family live down in Maryland, so I went to Strasburg on the way, and I also went to B&O when I was there, so I got to see both of those museums. And I think I saw the B&O before the roof collapsed.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yes. It's kind of unfortunate too because about that museum is that when the roof collapsed 2003, I think that they're coming to the Baltimore, Ohio anniversary, and they're gonna have a big event, and they were actually gonna have Johnny Cash as a guest speaker. He was going to do it. Yes,
wow.
he was going to do it, but
Wow.
then the roof he died, and then the roof also collapsed. So that really kind of put a damper on things.
Jeez.
That would have been something.
But I mean, they have a pretty good collection there. I know they have. They also have a 440 that was operational, didn't they?
William Mason, number 25.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. It's like green and black.
That was, you know why that was restored?
You
know why that was restored?
Why
they
was
don't
that
run
restored?
it anymore. It was restored because of the museum Wild Wild West with Will Smith. It was restored for that movie.
Oh.
Have you seen that movie?
I don't think so.
It's a silly movie, but basically, like, they have like their little private train to go. The whole plot, but it's like right after the Civil War and leads to the Dragon of the Goals. It's a silly old Western kind of movie. I think it's based off like a TV show or something. But the train that they travel around in is William Mason, 2 cars, and the engine was restored for that movie.
Okay.
And now it sits on our own little track in the roundhouse, in a new paint job, like as built paint. So it's on that. I can send you a picture of that too if you want.
Yes.
It's not in that black and green. It's in like that olive-y kind of green and red.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And as a heads up, by the way, the roundhouse that everything sits in, or most of it, that is not a locomotive roundhouse. That is a car roundhouse. That was for passengers when they used it, when it was in service.
Yeah, because I know you mentioned this. If you go in there, that you don't have the
exhaust ports for smoke stack.
The ventilation stacks for smoke from steam engines. Those don't exist in there.
That is a car roundhouse.
Which is something that I had never heard before until he mentioned it, but it's very interesting.
No, I mean, you know the roundhouse on Broadway by the Tops right there, by the Yard? Like right behind it? It's like a construction company now? He doesn't know.
I don't think so.
There's a roundhouse off of Broadway, right behind Tops, right next to Frontier Yard. It's still there. It's used by some construction company where they use installs for all the trucks. That was a Pullman roundhouse. That was again also for passenger cars. That wasn't a locomotive house.
This is new information to me.
Well, you know.
Oh, okay. Let's move on to the next location here.
Wait, we're not done.
You made it seem like you were done. I don't.
No,
I can't. I've never been there. I don't know how much you have to talk about. Okay.
There's a lot.
Well, I'm sure there is, but I don't know. I'm just trying to fit it all into this one episode. We're running on like 48 minutes right now. I'm trying to.
But okay, that's great. We keep going.
I know. I'm just trying to make sure we can fit it all in.
Okay. Well, I just want to have one more thing. There's also this 490, which is no longer in the car barn. I think that's what it is. I think that might be getting cosmetically restored right now. Honestly. Which
is 490? That's
the yellow belly.
Oh, that one. They're restoring that.
Cosmetically, I think.
Well, yeah. That's
because it's not in its spot anymore. So we're assuming that's where it is.
Is that the only one in existence for it, or?
That's the only C&O 464.
Well, the one that has that streamlining shape to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did I think IRM had one?
Were you wrong?
I don't have to. I think I just imagined that up out of nowhere. I guess. Okay.
That's exactly what you did.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Let's talk.
And they also have one more thing. Yes, we got B&O 5300 President Washington along B&O 4500, which I think was the very first US array type Mikado ever built. If I'm not mistaken.
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, no, they got a lot of nice little pieces in there. You know, everything in the everything in the roundhouse. They have one of the only Camelbacks. They have the name of the really cool 460. I forget the name of all of a sudden. That's really nice. Everything in that roundhouse.
Yeah,
It
although
really
I've
is.
seen photographs of the stuff in the roundhouse, it's all very,
When I
very
was
nice
there, they
equipment.
had the really cool World War I boxcar that was given them by France. It was a French boxcar, basically as a
Oh yeah, I've seen
thank you.
photographs of that. Yeah,
And they made one for each state, which a lot of them are, I think, gone now. But that one was for Maryland. So
that's neat. Well, yeah.
that was
Moral of the story: go check it out. It's definitely a place
we should
to go see
also we
if
should
you're in the
probably link
area.
all the websites and stuff for these railroads. All
Yeah, I
these
can do that.
talking
I'll
about
I'll put all the links in for the different
links
museums.
in the description.
Yeah, I'll throw it all in. Also, I'm not entirely sure if I said in the last episode I was going to put the links to the articles that we talked about in that. So I'm very sorry if I said that and I didn't. I do apologize, but I will put.
That is false advertising, Adam.
I messed up. I'm sorry, but I will put the
That's
links to
good.
all the museums that we talked about in the description if you guys want to go check out their rosters because I think most of them are online or if not,
Or
you
you
can
know
find
what? Plan
photographs.
a visit. You know.
Yeah, if you ever guys want to go check out any of these places, I highly recommend it. Even though I haven't been to most of them or some of them at least, but Jake has and he can vouch and say that they're all very, very nice places.
Yes, they are. All right. Do you want to wrap it up then with the last one with IRM? I think. I know you want to talk about IRM
Well, we can talk. Well, there's a few we can talk about. We can talk about IRM,
because we might have to make this another part, or at least into the first half or something.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk more about museums-esque stuff in the next episode, I think. So, let's wrap it up with something else, I guess. Well, this will be the last thing we talk about. But
Okay. You want to talk about IRM?
IRM, VMT, Steamtown.
Well,
You want to talk about the BC&J because that's more of a tourist type thing.
okay. Yeah. I mean, we kind of that ship is kind of sailed, but
We can bring it back.
We'll finish it up because we'll bring back to something. Yeah.
Yeah, because we'll focus more on like museums and stuff like that in a later episode, but we'll stick to more like touristy stuff because I realize we do get a little off track on that, but
We took a lot of time with Strasbourg.
we really
I,
did.
I didn't realize how much time we were going to stick with Strasbourg.
Yeah,
took a lot of time
we
with
talked for
Strasbourg.
like a half hour about Strasbourg.
Jeez.
well, I mean, there was a lot to talk about because we talked about the 611 event and all that stuff.
Here I was
So
worried about we wouldn't have enough to talk about. No, we have too much to talk about.
we have too much to talk about. We didn't think this through. I'm so sorry, but
This is very unwell planned and organized.
consider this kind of a part one to a later episode of us talking about museums and stuff like that. They'll kind of all be meshed into one, if you will. Yes, let's talk about the BC&J, which, for those of you that don't know, is the Buffalo, Cattaraugus, and Jamestown.
Newtown Scenic Railway.
Yes, which
Uh, A smaller organization, yes.
yeah, they're a smaller organization that does a lot of few charters in the area that they coordinate with the Buffalo Southern Railroad, which you guys have seen in one episode I did about the C424 that they just acquired, but. I believe you said you've done some work with them, or you've done some
a
things.
couple of years ago I did.
Yeah.
Like I used to do it a lot because how I got into it was my grandfather knew the guy who runs the whole. They used to be neighbors way back in the day, and so that's how I started doing it, helping out with it. I knew Ethan a bit, so I did it with him. I was mainly just doing like small things, like helping out on the train, people, I don't know, car stuff, helping out the snack bar maybe. It was in the Bobber Caboose once when they had it a couple times. That was neat.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I kind of I ran trains in the shop there
Yes.
too. Ran trains for people. That was also a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean that was a fun little experience. And again, like they've grown in popularity a lot in the past year or two. I mean that advertisement, because I'll hear them on 97 Rock or I'll hear them on the radio and stuff like
Really?
that too. Yeah, I'll hear their advertising. They're on the news frequently and in the paper. They're just in the paper about their
wow.
Santa trips. I mean, they're getting.
Yeah, because the Santa trips
only
are they're a big deal around here because they're like the only kind of railroad in the area, except for the Medina Railroad Museum and the Falls Road, that do the kind of the Santa train excursion type thing.
But what's nice about BCJ is that you're still in Buffalo. The thing
Yes.
about Medina is you have to kind of go out.
You have to go out to Medina
You have to go out to Medina, which is close to Rochester.
which is it's like an hour road trip, I believe, one way.
Yeah,
yeah.
give or take.
And I think the cool thing about the BC, because the BC&J does coordinate the excursions with the Visco 6, I believe, right?
Yes, they'll get that up occasionally.
Which is a
More towards the Santa trips, but yeah,
it's an 040 that kind of travels around the country, I believe.
No,
Doesn't it? Well, it does. It's not.
That's more of a Gramblings thing. she does. It does travel. It has been like Steam in the Valley. It does get around.
But it's not like
It's not Gramblings gets around though, but it
okay.
gets around more local region, northeastern
Yeah,
region, stuff like that. It's been
yeah.
around.
It's not like it's not like all over the country, but it's more
He's out.
like the
He's
northeastern
based
region of
out
the
of
U.S.
Dunkirk.
Oh yeah,
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 restore engine Dunkirk.
yeah.
It's a nice little engine.
And they also work on Buffalo Creek 43, don't they?
No,
They
no,
don't.
that's
Who
Western New York Railway Historical
oh,
Society,
they okay. Well,
which does operate, but it still needs some finishing touches.
well that's that thing. It's also jam packed between the PRR I-1.
And a couple S2s, a Jordan spreader, and a caboose.
Yes, which is the main issue of trying to get that thing
What
out.
I
But
want to see, and I did talk to both parties that they should talk because I've helped out with both. And I have talked to both parties that when that thing running, guys should use that on the trips. You have
yeah,
a use,
it's an interesting
you really
piece.
can't use it at the Western New York Railway Historical Society doesn't really have anywhere they can use it themselves. But if they coordinate something with BCJ, because the engine's right there, you can just use that.
Yeah,
No.
or just do something with the. I mean, yeah, if they can connect with the BC&J and the BSOR, which is the Buffalo Southern. I'm sure they could make something work because that is Buffalo Southern trackage too. So,
Well, no, it is, but it isn't. The state owns it.
well, yeah,
The state owns the track.
but it's Buffalo Southern runs on it, so it's like
Yes.
it's like they, yeah,
It's a good time.
yeah. Well,
It is a good time.
well, I think
But
mhm.
I hope that happens. The likelihood of it is I don't know. It's
It's-
I haven't helped out with either in a while just due to time restraints.
Well, I'm waiting to see what happens with the new building that they're trying to construct and see what happens from there because I think if that ever does come into the world and it is, I think they will move a lot of the stuff that they have there.
I hope.
Well, that's the dream at least, but because they have stuff like all over Western New York. I think they have,
Well, yeah,
like-
that varies. There's a lot of stuff in Eden.
yeah,
Well, I know there's a tender where that is. Well, the T1 Trust wants to look at.
yeah, because I know there's a
But-
coast to coast tender, a pure R coast to coast tender sitting in North College.
That's the one that they bought.
Yeah, which was bought by the PRR T1 Trust.
Sort of.
Kind of. Yeah, so I think that's begun. But there's a lot of hidden
Yeah, they have a
gems,
couple-
I think,
they
in
have
Hamburg.
like a Conrail crane in Eden.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
down the tracks.
Oh.
You pass by it on the trips.
Hmm.
But for people in this area, I highly suggest the BC&J rides.
Yeah.
The Buffalo trip one is really cool because of the long one. Because you start in Hamburg, you go all the way up the CP draw as far as you can go via BSOR.
Yes.
Take it all the way back to North Collins. Then you go back to Hamburg. It's like a 4-hour round trip.
It's pretty cool, though. Yeah, for any
It's a good
people
ride, 'cause
who
it
are
gives you
local to
perspective.
Buffalo, I highly recommend them. It's pretty interesting.
They mainly do their runs later in the year, like around September is when they start.
Yes.
About
Yeah,
to
like
December.
September to December, I think, is there at least December is when they start doing the Santa trips.
Yes, but like September is normally when they get like the Buffalo.
Yes. Yes, that
stuff,
and I
so.
think and they get like the viscose more towards October, I believe.
Yeah, a couple occasions.
There's kind of like seasons for when they do stuff.
Yes.
Season-esque type times when they do stuff. But I think we're gonna wrap it up there. I will say there will be a sort of museum sequel episode where we talk about the rest of the things we wanted to talk about today because I did not realize we were gonna run out of time, I didn't want this to really be a really long episode, but there will be another
Here we are.
episode in the future where we talk about museums and stuff like that. So consider it a sequel to this one. But I'd like to thank Jake for coming on with me as always, being my co-host for this podcast.
It was a good time.
It's
It was
great.
a good time. We're having fun.
Be
That's all that
sure
matters.
to follow me and him on Instagram. I'll throw him up on the screen right here, as well as follow me and him on our YouTube channels, which I'll also throw up right here.
Ding 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 ding
Yep.
ding ding ding. That channel.
Well, Jake is always posting his artwork and stuff on Instagram. It's
Yeah,
really
go check out
interesting.
my artwork. I'm gonna
Go
keep
check out the
plugging my
artwork. Yeah,
Because I mean, the only way you can get out there is you sell yourself out. So go check out my artwork. Hey, you
Yeah.
have artwork. Go check out my artwork. I have cool
Yeah.
artwork.
yeah. So go check those out. I highly recommend them. And yeah, so I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode of The Art Office. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more. I'm Adam, and I'll talk to you guys later. You all have a amazing day.
Bye bye.